What is up, RetroManiacs? Welcome to the Retro Card Chat Podcast. My name is Mike, and I'm from Mike's Retro Trading Cards. I'm joined by two guys that just can't wait to start pounding beers, eating hot dogs and hamburgers, maybe playing a little cornhole. I don't know. Don't know if we'll have enough time. They are, of course, Joe Day and EP Eric Bahowick. How you doing, boys? Happy Memorial Day. Is that I feel like it's not a thing that you should say Happy Memorial Day. But anyway.
Right.
Happy Memorial Day. It's
Memorial
not a happy day, but it's a happy day because
we're a reflective day.
We're all off work, right?
Yes, today on Monday.
Except for us who are here working on a
federal
holiday.
Viewer. Yeah.
I'm a tough ass.
I'm doing good. I'm actually not doing any Memorial Day parties this year. I told the story before we started recording of my week and how I got crunked up on a Tuesday of all days. But I will crack open a delightful beverage here. There we go. Nice little fruit refreshing, bright something or other from. Bleep that out. Damn it. Bleep that out, Mike.
Yeah, I'll edit that out. Yeah. They don't pay for that promotion, Joe.
No, you got to edit them out.
Until they do, they're not getting that.
EP, you joining me?
I am. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, Joe is
Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Enjoy your day off. I hope your burgers taste good. Your hot dogs taste good. The beer is cold and crisp.
Crisp.
Yes. Yeah,
and the cornhole bags are just dropping. They're just dropping in.
Dropping.
That's what I'm
Airmail, baby.
I'm sure our viewers never miss. Yeah. You know, we're celebrating a little bit of an anniversary, guys. I don't know if you know, but we have 3 years worth of doing this podcast every week without missing a week. We've alluded to this a couple times before. We're 165 episodes into this now, and we missed 1 week in the history of this podcast, and it was Memorial Day weekend.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's got to be EP's fault because he's the one
totally
who does parties on Memorial.
Yeah,
it was absolutely
definitely. Yeah, 100%.
Everything's pretty much always EP's fault because why not?
We'll get comments. Oh, don't pick on sweet little EP. Whoever comments that, he does not know who you are. He does not know you exist.
Yeah.
Stop defending him. Okay.
We had one person that commented. They must have deleted the comment because when I went to look for it to respond to it, it was gone. But I got a notification from somebody that was thanking the newspaper guy for not cursing. And, I felt like,
okay.
we were being dragged under the bus on that.
Yeah. We curse when we get passionate, Mike. But I'll tell you what. Who broke the seal on this?
I dropped the first
F-bomb.
Who broke
the seal?
I dropped the first F-bomb.
The newspaper guy.
The newspaper guy. So whoever commented that must have thought, wait a minute, didn't EP drop the first F-bomb? I better delete my comment.
Well,
that's probably what happened. Yeah.
I've had to be on camera and be recorded for working a bunch, so I'm usually try to keep myself. Try to not do too much cussing. I have a lot of practice in it, but sometimes I get really passionate, and I will admit that I dropped the first F-bomb on the channel a couple years ago.
And we had a guest in the house,
and there was a lot of venom behind my.
I believe it was with the sports card dad was a guest in our home.
Yeah,
well,
dropping F-bombs.
Yeah,
I mean he's a potty mouth too now, so that must have been because of EP.
Yeah,
I didn't put 2 and 2 together. He never swore, and now he curses like a sailor.
Yeah.
It was EP's fault.
Yeah,
Holy
that's
crap.
what it was.
Wow. I'll take it for that one.
And also keep in mind, folks, that EP does another podcast that will not be spoken of much past this, but it's rated G. So it's
what's
like
the rating before G? Like it's even cleaner than G.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like EP said heck one time, and he goes, "Well, I'm sorry for swearing." Like it wasn't quite heck, but it was like crap or something, and EP literally apologized.
Yeah, and I did like apologize to Rob because he might have to edit it out. It's like, oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, and it was again, I think crap, like things you can say in Disney cartoons now. I'm pretty sure EP said. So yeah. I wouldn't got on this tangent.
I wouldn't know because I don't listen to that podcast. Just like EP doesn't listen to this one. So
I
Yeah,
live this
that's
one,
fair.
man. I listen to it on the audio. I do listen to it on audio.
I
Oh,
live
okay.
this one. I live this one. Oh man.
Oh wow. So anything new and exciting going on, boys?
A couple of things actually. You eagle-eye viewers may notice the displays have changed up a little bit. I finally got all the new cards I had purchased. They're up in here. There's a bunch of cool ones. I'll pour one out. I have a couple of George Wendt autographs over here. Cheers to cheers. That was very, very sad day. So yeah, cheers to George
At
Wendt.
least George Wendt lived long enough to get to see our break of a cheers case.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
Though we didn't pull a George Wendt, I had to pull it out of my personal case. But it was one of the last packs I opened was that George Wendt autograph, and then I have him in the John Ratzenberger dual incentive. Those aren't leaving the PC anytime soon. I mean, George Wendt was my favorite character. I was the norm of Mike's Upper Deck back in the day. So yeah, it's really sad to see it. I got a lot of texts about George Wendt on Tuesday. Something else happened on Tuesday. I got a lot of texts about that. I think I got more texts about George Wendt. So yeah, it was wild.
Back at the shop, Joe would walk through the door and hear Joe. That's not even a joke.
Mike would have a beer ready for me. No,
I want to comment one thing too. I do like that new display case a lot because your abnormally large head covers up that red card on the bottom, and I don't have to look at it. So there you go.
First off, my head is of normal size. I am rearranging this though. I am going back to the corner view here because I got my binders pretty much done. So that red card will be prominently featured. Don't worry. Two real quick things I want to vent about. Okay.
Oh no.
eBay has pissed me off the last 2 days. Once as a buyer and once as a seller. I mean, it's just so I told you guys about this one. Someone posted a card. It was $150 auto, needed it for the set I'm putting together. And there was there was something on pretty much one of the in the open area of how she signs her ad. It was a Nichelle Nichols autograph. And it looked like a chunk was missing out of the card. Now, if it was anywhere else in the card, if there was edgeware, chipping, whatever, I don't care. As long as the auto looks good, right? So I email or message the seller and said, oh, hey, just wanted to know if this was on the card, if it was some dust that was on the scanner or whatever. They come back. They let me know, oh, must be on the scanner. And they said, I updated the pictures. Okay. And then proceed to say, but I'm sure if you keep looking, you can find something else.
Oh my God.
I'm and basically was saying, look at my feedback. I'm a good seller. And then implied I shouldn't purchase the card if I have complaints like that. What the are we doing here? It's a $150 card. It's Nichelle Nichols, one of the greatest Star Trek actresses of all time. I get that, but there are other options. I could go and buy it from someone else. It was just, if you have a card worth over what amount and someone asked you, hey, can you take a picture of this? What's your what's the low? What's the high on that? I mean, 150 is definitely something I'd be taking extra pictures of, or I'm not upset if someone asked me for some.
I feel like I have not responded in that way in a message to someone, but I've had that thought in my head before. So I wonder if this person, trying to put myself in this person's shoes, they might have had somebody complain about something else. Or might have just had a $200 card they had to return, had returned to them or something because of a similar situation. So I won't be surprised at all if they're sick of dealing with these people complaining about tiny little problems with the cards. This one sounds like more than a tiny little problem, but I could see that a building up to the point where it's I'm so sick of these people kind of situation.
To be fair, though, no one else must have mentioned this specific thing because it was bad enough they went and updated the pictures.
Yeah.
They went and updated the pictures. So
I think I'd do it. If it were, I take good pictures. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel like a lower price card, anybody should have to do that. But if they did, and I looked at the picture and I saw maybe there was a glare or something, even on a lower price card, I would probably just snap a picture of it and send it to them. So I'm there to sell a card. They're asking a question. I do agree with EP. The guy probably thought you were a nitpicky person. What he said to you, he probably should have texted his Mike and EP.
Right. Yes.
Say it to him, not
Right.
send it to you, because that's what we all would have done.
Mhm.
But yeah,
He literally lost a sale from me. I went and
Yeah.
bought it from someone else.
Oh,
Like
good for
I
you.
paid a little bit more. The auto was just as good. And I'm like, no, that's just a principle thing. Like I'll spend the
Yeah.
extra, I think it was like $8 because the shipping was a little bit different, whatever. Lost the sale. Just say, oh, hey, thanks for pointing that out. I've done that before too. When people are like, hey, did you notice on this car, on your picture? I'm like, oh, yep. Thank you. I appreciate you letting me know that. So someone had a wrong picture in one of their listings. And I said, hey, before you sell this card and someone buys it and returns it, and they were like, oh, thank you so much. And then you have other people who are like, okay, I just helped you,
Yeah, I've had already cards listed like a listed as a purple when it's actually a silver. And someone's like, hey, is this the silver or the purple? I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And I went and changed the title, that sort of stuff. Thank you for, for putting that out to me. Kind of situation like that. I appreciate that. I will thank them, not get all snippy with them. Like that seems like
that happens a
bad
lot
way to do
too now, because people are using the automatic listing programs and they're not identifying the card right. And EP, if you're listing like 100 or 200 cards, you might not catch it when that happens,
I'm at the point now where I go back through everything right as I think I'm done. I go back through and make sure, okay, this is the refractor, this is not the refractor, this is the international, this is not the international, that sort of stuff, just because you're looking at something, a technology that is amazing, but it's not perfect.
Yeah, it happens a lot too. Like if you use the light box, certain cards like mine, where I take the pictures right along the top edge, sometimes it'll have the reflection of the light bar, and if you don't catch it when you do it, when you look at the picture, you're like, is there something wrong with the edge? It looks kind of choppy, but it's actually from the light. So stuff
or
happens.
if you take a picture like a chrome card still in a sleeve, sometimes the light will reflect off of that and you're like, oh, that looks kind of bad. And then the other complaint, eBay complaint, as a seller, I had a card listed for $79.99 or best offer, or no, $89.99 or best offer. Someone offers me $35. Okay. Now,
did
Mike,
you counter it?
I did counter it. I did counter it because I'm a counter. You're a decliner. EP, you're a counter.
Yes.
This is one of those cards, though. It's very reminiscent of what we talk about with like 90s football cards, where it's like you can see an auction, it'll go for like $5, or a fixed price will go for $50. Like there's like ranges, right? Because they're not cards people are really looking for in auctions a lot of time. So I countered and I said, this is the lowest I would go. And I think it was 70. Mine's the lowest on eBay already. And then he just declines it, which is fine. That's fine. But then he comments on the decline. And I'm like, man, I shouldn't have even read it. He comments with, the last one sold for 35. It did. Sure, it did. But it was an auction. Literally 3 days earlier, one sold for 80, right? So they don't give you an option to respond to people with douchebag comments. So I messaged
probably
him.
A good idea too, by the way.
Right. So I got his username and messaged him.
Oh my God. No, you didn't.
I absolutely did. I was not going to let him close that circle. Absolutely not. So I said, you're right. The last one did at an auction sell for 35. The previous 3 all sold for less than what I'm selling mine for, or more than what I countered with. So like they all sold for 75 to 80. I countered for 70. I would suggest for you to just wait for an auction to come up. Like I was kind of a dick. And he goes, thanks. Like, I don't know. I felt it necessary to I can't let him have the last word. Mike, back me up. You feel the same way a lot of times.
I wouldn't have been in this position because I would have been the decliner.
Yeah,
and
fair.
then this is why you decline. That's a low ball offer. You decline it. If they have no interest in giving you a fair offer, they won't do anything else. It's done. You declined it. You got the final word in by declining. By sending an offer, then either they decline it and leave you a smart ass comment, or they leave it out there hanging for however many days, and then you're like, are they going to do anything or they're not? Like, no, I want to be in control of this situation. Boom. If they're interested in the card, they will always come back with another offer.
I will say this is the one time. This is the one time where I will agree with you. Previous times we've disagreed. This is the one time I will agree with you. Yeah, but no, I like getting Snippy right back.
I'm normally a counter offer.
Maybe you should wait for an auction to come up.
After you complain about the guy getting snippy with you,
yep.
You come back.
They both happened. They both happened like right around the same time. So you don't think some of that was oozing into some of this?
Oh yeah. Wow. I actually had one last week or 2 weeks ago where I had somebody offer me. I had a Greg Jennings card listed, a number of Greg Jennings card listed for $1.99, which was by far the lowest comp, lowest compared to anything else that was out there. And somebody offered me $1. I didn't even counter. Like normally I'm a counterer. Like I'll do 175 for that card, no problem. That one's like, nope, I just declined it. So I'm done with you. So I realize it's a little bit different than an $80 card for a $2 card or whatever. But still, like normally I'm very much that was like
emotionally,
okay,
it's not easy. It's the same. Emotionally, it's the same.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same.
So I have 2 questions for you guys. The first one is I had somebody made an offer, $15 for my PSA 8 Boba Fett card from Star Wars Galaxy, the original, like the first series of Star Wars Galaxy. I sold a PSA 9 for $25 earlier in the week. Somebody offered me $15. The person within minutes of so he sent the offer. I said okay. Within minutes of it selling, messages me with this is my real address. So this is the correct address. So let me know. I'm going to do I cancel this and say, do I cancel it and say I can't do this, or do I accept it and edit the address when I'm filling out the stuff?
You can't edit the address. You have to send it to the address they use, or else you're not covered. So if you send it to that address, they can say whatever and you won't be covered and they'll get a free card. So what you have to do is say eBay requires it to be sent by the address you chose when you bought it. If you would like, I can cancel it and relist it, and you can buy it again with the right address.
Update your address on eBay.
Fix your address, D-bag. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then
I didn't say anything like that.
No,
you're channeling Joe Day right now.
That was my thought. And then the second one earlier today, I saw an eBay title that I need to read you guys, and then just ask you guys what you think the price is. So rare, all caps, 2 exclamation marks. Sammy Sosa error, all caps. Rookie card, 89-90. It's actually the 1990 Upper Deck rookie card. 89-90. Perfect condition, 2 exclamation marks. Will sell fast, all caps, double exclamation mark. So we're talking 6 exclamation marks and 3 words that are in all caps. Rare
that
error. That
reminds me of a Seinfeld episode. Great with Elaine talking about exclamation points. Yeah, that's a good one.
So what do you guys think the buy it now or best offer asking price is?
2,000.
I'm gonna say like it's one of those random things where it's a really low amount. Like I don't know what these normally sell for.
It's also a PSA 10. It's also a PSA 10.
Oh, it's a PSA 10.
It's also PSA 10.
20,000.
I was gonna say
it doesn't make 20,000 quite, but Joe,
5,000.
$17,500.
If it were raw, it would be 2,000. If it's a PSA 10, it's 17.
What do they normally?
That's a bargain.
That's like it ain't even a $1 card, probably, right? Yeah, it's a 50-cent card. Yeah, I think they're all errors too, right?
Probably 100%
unchanged error. Weren't they all errors, Mike?
I probably were. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just saw that. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to ask about this on the show.
All those exclamation points.
Well, if you didn't notice behind me here, I have a whole bunch of boxes starting to pile up there. I have my pack stack sale on Twitter this week. So, if you want to try to buy some retro packs, this is your chance. I'm at Mike's Upper Deck 1 on Twitter. Follow me there, follow along, buy some packs from me. I need to sell these. I'm gonna get kicked out of my house. My dog's sick.
Oh my God,
I don't know, whatever. Yeah.
You lost your pickup truck, and
my pickup is rusting out, and it can't pass inspection. I can't get to work, and all this stuff. I don't own a pickup truck. In case you're wondering, I don't own a pickup truck.
He owns a pickup truck, and they have huge truck nuts.
Yes. Well, if I did own a pickup, I absolutely would.
Dragging on the street.
I would. Yes. Cops would be pulling me over to compliment me on the side of truck nuts. But I was at the card show this past weekend, EP. You weren't there.
I was not. I couldn't. I had a family gathering I had to go to, so that took priority.
It was pretty busy. A lot of tables.
There's supposed to be 70 tables. Is that about right? I was going to ask it what the turnout was.
Might have been. It feels like it might have even been a little more. There was a lot of Pokemon. But it was both the Pokemon and the sports card tables. Dare I say, I think the sports card tables were busier than the Pokemon tables.
Wow.
Now, EP, like from the middle of the mall going down toward the other end, there were a lot of Pokemon dealers down there, and there were people there, but almost every sports card table I walked by once or twice till I could get in to look at stuff. And this is all anecdotal experience, but the ones where you set up, the Pokemon people up there was not a crowd of people around those. And
wow.
I feel like this was way more sports card buyer heavy than typical. I mean, definitely Pokemon people there buying stuff too, don't get me wrong, but I think the sports card people were really excited for this show.
I think one of the things that happened is they re-released that Prismatic Evolutions set, which was the one that was driving the prices, that had the God packs in it. And so they re-released that. So I think there was more of that out there. And then the other prices, other ones, I think were coming down. I saw a couple headlines on YouTube or in places that were like, "Oh, the eBay prices are tanking. They're dropping." A couple of those headlines. So I'm guessing that if that is probably the sports card people that had moved over to Pokemon briefly are now just going back to their
scared.
They're all like, "Wait, you can just re-release this stuff? What?"
Yeah.
yeah.
Not realizing though that probably in a month that stuff's going to go back up anyway, because that's usually what happens. I did buy a couple cards though.
Nice.
Because there was a guy that I saw on YouTube that had a Pro Line autograph. I got the Jay Hilgenberg autograph out of Pro Line. Got that from Bill from Docs. I also from Bill. I'm not a fan of this player, but I'm a fan of the cards. The John Elway autograph out of Collector's Edge. These were actual pack pulled ones, but even though it doesn't have any, the number on the back is photo 1. They're actually a prototype autograph. So
didn't he?
That's cool.
It's not funny. Didn't something happen with him and a friend on a golf course?
Yeah.
We
don't need to go there.
I was just going to say,
people like
PTSD.
you.
I was going to say, is that a little PTSD for you, my friend? Is that why you don't like John Elway? I think that's possible.
And I bought a card for the PC. Yes, I got the Goldenrod C3PO card.
Nice.
Got this from Troy, our old buddy DeFish.
Our old buddy DeFish.
Always
and
gives
the
me a good
P in
deal.
Mike's PC does not mean personal. EP, I'll explain that joke to you later.
I don't want to laugh. I really don't.
Yeah,
want
but
to
it's
laugh.
funny.
That was
But
funny.
it's
Yes,
funny.
it really was. Yeah. I mean,
that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, people.
yeah. But I finally got that card, so very happy
That is
about
cool.
that one.
That
So.
is cool.
Very cool.
And to get it from a buddy, like to get it from DeFish is cool.
And Card Show Kevin asked him about it like right before and passed on it, and I was like, "Oh, that's that card. What do you want for it?" He gave me a price. I'm like, "I'll take it."
I know Card Show Kevin said he was going to be there, and we were trying to work out a time. I thought maybe I'd be able to go there for like an hour or two, but it didn't work out. So anyhow, I was talking to him, and I was talking to Kevin from the Harrisburg area, and he was asking me how much the guys like their cards. It's like about that, I haven't got them their cards yet, so I do need to get you guys your cards, and I'll get that figured out. Mike, I said I might stop by your place later today, Monday.
You can swing by my place.
And Joe, I'm gonna have to mail yours. It's a little.
You said you don't have anything going on tomorrow. What? It's a couple hour drive. What? Get there in an hour, back in another hour.
Yeah, the way
that
you drive
is not true at all.
No?
Oh,
all right. Well, enough of the chit chat. We better get into it because we don't really have a lot to get into, but I have stuff written down, so we got to talk about it. All right. Oh, so it turns out that PSA, the grading company, is opening their first retail drop-off location inside the new Burbank sports card store. they're going to be there is staffed by actual PSA employees. So it'll be like a store within a store kind of thing. You're going to be able to drop off submissions, drop off cards for the vault, and for PSA consignments, apparently, through there. New way of doing, like, it's kind of interesting. This company is having a hard time right now keeping up with their demand, but they're opening places to drop cards off. I mean, whatever. It's in California. It doesn't do me any good whatsoever. So I'm not super excited about it. I don't really. I'm sure there are people in the hobby. If you have a more expensive card, you have a whole bunch of expensive cards, definitely better to drop them off in person and not have to mail them and save you the expense of insuring that and stuff. So I get it. But for people like us, this doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. But hey, props to them for, giving people who need that thing that they need, I guess. I don't know.
I will say this won't be the last one. So my prediction, is I would say within the next 6 months, if this is even moderately successful, the next one will be in New Jersey at Tom Brady's place. That's my guess. Okay. They have an office in New Jersey. Wouldn't be surprised if that's why they have the first one in Burbank, California. They can embed employees from their California office there, maybe do the same thing. My guess would be Brady's place just because. But they should be doing this in places where I couldn't just. I don't know. I don't know how close Burbank is to their headquarters. So blame me in the comments if it's like a 12-hour drive or something.
California, everything's like within an hour of each other. Yeah.
You watch Michael Mann movies. There's no traffic or anything. But I would. This is a service that I would definitely use if I did have a more expensive card. I'd rather fly. If I had a 101 black Wemby card or whatever, I would rather go to the PSA offices and do the walkthrough service. It's probably cheaper to rent a plane ticket, probably now, especially. Who knows about the landing part of it, but you'll at least be able to fly there. And it might be cheaper than actually insuring that card. And the post office only insures up to a certain amount. And, I don't know what FedEx and UPS does in terms of how high you can insure something. But, yeah, it might make more sense to do that. But, again, if this model turns out well, wouldn't be surprised if there's one in Atlanta. Wouldn't be surprised if there's one in the Meadowlands. I mean, but you need to strategically place these so that people if I had a $10,000 card, $15,000 card, and wanted it graded by PSA, didn't feel comfortable mailing it, how far would I drive? Would I drive to definitely Cleveland, but would I drive to Chicago or someplace like that? So strategically placing these would be actually a really good thing. But between this and you've got GameStop accepting PSA submissions. Dick's Sporting Goods, wouldn't be surprised if they start taking PSA submissions. So you're going to have a lot. They're going to have to hire a lot more graders because right now they're already, pushing timelines back. So yeah, this is just a way for them to get more cards, keep eating the world.
Yeah, Joe, if you decide to go, don't fly into or out of LaGuardia or Newark. I would definitely.
I've flown out of Newark a couple of times and it's been bad before. I can't imagine what it's like now.
Right. I wrote down a couple things. First one is, obviously they're flush with cash, right? They're grading so many cards, they're flush with cash. They need to spend it on capital projects of some type. So this is a nice one. This is a big one. I think one of the places they could potentially do also is Boca Raton, Florida, just because they don't have employees at SGC, but they have a kind of a site there. And I could see them that they could have some, they could work together in some ways as far as getting cards. And I think one of the things that might help with this is I think that the processing the cards might be a little bit easier if you're handing them to a PSA employee. There's probably documentation, there's probably different things, and they probably can do that right away. So I wonder if this
for the high end stuff.
Yeah. So I wonder if this can push the cards through a little bit faster by doing it this way. So if that's the case, and if this actually works out, like you said, Joe, I'm 100% going to see multiple of these across the
Layton sports card. You said Florida. I don't. Okay. Layton's down in Florida. I wouldn't surprise one of the biggest breakers out there. Wouldn't surprise me if they went down there and did something with them.
branching off of this story a little bit, the actual new Burbank sports cards is going to be a 14,000 square foot facility. They're moving all 40 million of their cards. Can you imagine having that job? I don't want that job.
No.
Yeah, and it's let's see where else they're gonna have on-demand kiosk. That is what I wrote. I couldn't the word demand. I couldn't understand what I wrote on my notes. But they're gonna have on-demand kiosk where you can walk in, pick out the card on, and then some lackey there will go get the cards for you.
Oh, wow.
And they anticipate having 1 million 25-cent cards on the floor of the new store. So yeah, like
that's awesome.
In the day and age of Jeff Wilson's new store and all the slabs everywhere, I mean, they're going to have that stuff too. But the one thing I do like about Burbank is they live in that lower end like we like to. And they're, again, talk about the hobby. We've talked about them, Fanatics wanting to push out the old card shops. And one of my biggest problems is not everybody collects the way that they want people to collect by buying into breaks and buying high dollar stuff. The fact that this place can open a store that big and have 1 million cards at a quarter on the floor for people just shows the demand that there is in the hobby. Like, yes, there are people that like to spend all the money, but there are a hell of a lot of people left in this hobby that like to buy dollar cards and quarter cards and dig through boxes and stuff. And again, the hobby needs to be careful not to leave these people behind. And by the hobby, I mean Fanatics version of the hobby.
And like Burbank is kind of the coming together of those two things, right? It's a very nice store. I've seen, they've been on documentaries and different people interviewed them in videos and stuff like that. It's a very nice store. And this store is going to be above and beyond that, right? So it's kind of like that look and feel, but they're bringing in those lower end collectors, set builders. Jeff Wilson, close your ears. Yes,
nobody collects build sets.
Right. So they're going to bring in a lot of that stuff or keep a lot of that stuff as well. But they can afford to do it. Like they can marry those two worlds pretty well and have the store that Michael Rubin is okay sending boxes to, but they can also put out boxes and boxes and boxes of quarter cards. Not every store can do that, unfortunately. Not every store has the legacy of Burbank, but also the size and the financial backing of Burbank. So just don't leave those stores out in the cold. Just a plea from last week. We got a lot of pushback on it. A plea from last week. Don't let those local card shops out in the cold when you do it. But yeah, Burbank is I bought cards from Burbank off of the Beckett marketplace. This was a couple of years ago. Wow. That's all. Yeah. But I definitely bought cards off of Burbank and on eBay, obviously. But yeah, and low dollar cards. They were all like less than $1.
I know when I'm pricing cards, I look for the Burbank listings to compare to comp my prices, just because they're usually the lowest and they're usually what the price probably should be on a lot of cards. I might go like for a $1.69 card for them. I might go $1.75 for some of them, but for the most part, I'm just following their lead and kind of going with what their prices are, because they like you said, they swim in the kind of the waters that I swim in, and I feel like I love the fact they're going to put those cards out there. And the fact that they list all those cards, that proves that there's a volume of sales there that is beneficial for that company, which means there are a lot of us buying a lot of the low value cards. And I feel like, again, you're talking about that huge volume of these people that if that company is making that kind of money off those cards, Fanatics needs to pay attention and needs to make sure that they are also worrying about us as well.
But I don't think they do breaks. So will Fanatics pay attention?
Yeah, they don't do breaks, which. Okay, well, in not so great news about PSA, we know a couple months ago now, BackYard Breaks, their owner Grant Telford was on live stream on Whatnot and made some pretty disgusting comments about a fictitious daughter he'd have. And we didn't talk a whole lot about it at the time because it's just disgusting. But, the hobby being the hobby, these people are allowed to just continue to be part of it. And turns out that BackYard Breaks is going to be doing another week-long break at PSA, I believe in the New Jersey office this time, breaking 2024 select football. I mean, there are a lot of people in the hobby, including us, that are really disgusted by this. I see no benefit in PSA having these people like intertwined with their brand, but hey, there's money to be made out there. So even though PSA is already eating up everything in the hobby and making tons of money, let's get a little more by having these disgusting pigs be part of this, and we'll support them and not make any kind of comment about it, because Nat Turner, who loves to just randomly reply to stuff on Twitter when people tag him, has probably been tagged a million times this week. Nothing. Not one response. Ben Burrows from Collect tried to get in touch with somebody from PSA to get a response. Nobody gave them a response. They're not going to. They're just going to ignore it, because this is what the hobby does. And sadly, PSA at the end of the day, while I think there's a lot of good things they do, got to take a step back and realize, yeah, they're just part of this like everybody else that doesn't give a damn about things like this. They just want to make money. So they don't care if they let BackYard breaks in there. They don't care if they support the business of the guy who had to pay no price for what he said.
Oh, he had to take a vacation for a couple of weeks. Mike, come on now.
Take a vacation and had to make up a new account instead of his old one. Whatever. It's just, this is the kind of stuff that's disgusting, that if people outside of the hobby, if the mainstream media, one of these times, I guarantee you, a big mainstream news outlet is going to grab a hold of one of these stories in the hobby, and then there's going to be a whole lot of shit go down. It's only a matter of time. There's so much more money. The hobby's gotten so much bigger that all these bad actors that get away with stuff over and over and over again, I guarantee you at some point, the mainstream media is going to get a hold of it, and people are going to look at the card hobby and go, wait, he did what? And they allow him to do what? So it's clearly not this time, but one of these times, sometime, do better. This is why we can't self-regulate, Ziggy. This is why, because the hobby doesn't give a shit about self-regulation. They care about money. They just want as much money as they can, and you're starting to become part of the machine. Sorry, I had to get that.
So when EP and I... No, keep it all in. When EP and I always had our arguments about Fanatics prices, which I believe a winner was declared. But we always had this argument about Fanatics prices. My button comment was always, yes, because corporations want to stop making money. That's what they do. They often are like, we've had enough. We've made enough money. We can stop. PSA is, again, proving my point from the very beginning. They own the grading world. They don't need this. BackYard needs this more than PSA needs this. So I don't know why Nat Turner, of all people, would do a favor for BackYard breaks. And BackYard breaks is still a big breaker for sure. PSA does not need them. PSA is bigger than BackYard breaks, right? So you're putting your brand on their brand. But when you do that, you're taking their stink too, right? So like, I don't understand the win here for PSA. You can find any other reputable breaker that doesn't do weird shit on their streams to partner up with. Or here's an idea: don't partner with any breaker and just keep grading your 1.5 million cards a month. What do you care? So it's just a weird thing that they're doing. I don't understand it at all. In terms of them doing it at, where did you say it was going on, Mike? It was going at their New Jersey facility.
I think it's at New Jersey this time. Yeah. Last year it was out at the headquarters, and I think this year's New Jersey.
Yeah, I just can't wrap my brain around why PSA would want to do this. And you were right about Nat Turner. I mean, this is a man who talks a lot to everyone. He will call you out if you call him out. He doesn't have a problem responding. And then this one, I wonder if he realizes, we kind of stepped in it a little bit. But how do you not know that? How is that not something that, did you think, a couple months has passed? no one will remember this. No, a lot of people do remember. It's pretty hard to forget, especially a company that focuses their shtick on kids, and then to say weird shit like that, so their owner to say weird shit like that. I don't know. I'm not a fan. PSA does not need to do this. They have enough money. But again, corporations love money, so they're not going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah. Also, like you said, sadly, I forget who even like PSA. Sadly, PSA doesn't care. Whatever. The hobby doesn't care. I think that's the bigger issue is that there are people. They're like the breakers, like the people that get into breaks. They never went away from backyard breaks. They probably still they probably look the other way. Or they're Joe. I think your analogy was about like their stink. Like they're just gonna stay upwind. Like the people don't care. People in the hobby just don't care. I'm not sure how many other people this week might be talking about this or talked about it last week, but the hobby has moved on. They don't care, and I'm sure. I mean, Matt Turner's silence says a lot about what he might be thinking. But the bottom line is the hobby has moved on, and PSA has the company has moved on because they're going to be doing this, and they're going to be fine. They're going to get a bazillion views, so people are going to watch it. People are going to buy into the breaks, and that's just going to be the hobby. We're going to keep going as it is, even though despite the horrible things that were said, and they like you said, Joe, they really do have a stink about them, backyard breaks, but the hobby doesn't really care.
And not one person will not send in a card to PSA to get graded because of this. So
like, yeah.
This is the problem. All of us are going to be like the whole hobby. Nobody will go, well, I can't send it to them because they had backyard breaks. No. Oh, I can make this card worth more, so I don't care what they did. And yeah, this is the hobby. Oh well. Talking about moving on, we're going to move on to the finalists for the 2028 National, which is like 13 years from now. But it's in the news this week because Atlanta and Detroit are the finalists for the 2028 National. Two different places. I think they had it in Atlanta quite a while ago. I don't think they've ever had it in Detroit. They're supposed to have the vote and have the place declared by September 1st. It would be in Atlanta. It's the World Congress Center, which is a 1.5 million square foot facility down there, or Huntington Place in Detroit, which is 700,000 square feet. I believe the place in Chicago is 500,000 square feet, but going to be something different. The only reason I want to talk about this is I want to know which place you guys want this to go to.
July in Atlanta. I went to Atlanta
but Detroit.
So I have comments about that too. But July in Atlanta, I went down there in May. And swamp ass. All right. It was bad in May. I can't imagine what it would be like in July. Atlanta's a great city though. I will say that if it was in Atlanta, that's a great convention center too. Yes. It's a great place there. I would push you. They've got the College Football of Fame there, which is actually a fun little tour. They've got Coca-Cola there. That's a fun thing. We did all the touristy things when we went down there. It's a fun city. So I would try and get you guys to go. And of course, there's a card shop down there that people talk about from time to time. For Detroit, it's an up and coming city. I'm curious if the convention center is actually in Detroit, kind of like the National is in Chicago. Yeah. It's in Rosemont, it's by the airport. Let's calm down a little bit. So I don't know where the actual convention center, like our convention center here in Pittsburgh, is downtown. I don't think it is in Detroit, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Looks like the actual convention center is in Detroit. It's right across the river from Windsor, Ontario. So I guess it's on the river there.
That'd be cool. I've never been to Detroit, so I'd vote for Detroit just because I think it'd be colder. It'd be, a little easier to take. But my point I was going to make when we were talking about this, when we brought this up as a topic, is if people were worried about Atlantic City, not rightly worried, by the way, wrongly worried about Atlantic City, can you imagine the hot takes we're going to get leading into the 2028 National, if it's in Detroit, people are going to be like, okay, update your life insurance. Make sure you have a concealed carry permit. You got to be packing heat. I mean, Detroit, all security. That. Did you watch RoboCop? It's a documentary. Like, the people will be so concerned about this that it's absolutely bonkers. But I would vote for Detroit personally. Something different.
I have this last few years, last like 5 years, I've unlocked so many places. It's wild to think about. I went to South Bend, Indiana, and saw Notre Dame play. I saw Notre Dame play in Miami. The three of us went to Atlantic City, New Jersey, and then to Cleveland to the National. I'm unlocking the National that I thought about back reading about it in the Beckett for like as a wee tot, and I actually think that I went there twice with some of my best friends. Like it, I mean, that I've unlocked a lot of cool stuff. And as much as I've never been to Detroit, I feel like Detroit is probably close enough to Cleveland and South Bend and even Pennsylvania where we live. But I feel like Atlanta is different. And so I would vote for Atlanta just because it is going to be, listen, I get swamp ass as bad or worse than you guys, I'm sure. But I feel like Atlanta, because it would be a different new experience for me. And I would vote for Atlanta.
Two things here. Did you catch he said some of my best friends, Joe?
I did catch that. I clocked that, Mike. Don't worry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hurtful. So hurtful.
I'm sure that comment you made will be credited to me, and Bob Boozle will throw me under the bus in the comments about Sweet Little
that doesn't happen.
And me questioning the friendship level. Marvelous Mike would never say anything terrible about EP.
I wouldn't. No.
But I did clock that, yes.
6.5 hour drive to Detroit. Atlanta's like what, 15 hours?
Yeah, 12 or 50. Yeah, something that's a lot.
It's a flight. I would fly, boys. I'll meet you down there.
and the drive to Atlanta is just horrible because 95 is just awful.
I feel like, Mike, you wouldn't be able to drive the whole way yourself. I think you would need to share the load there if we drove.
We'll have to rent like one of those little Mercedes RV van thingies and take turns.
Let Mike sleep in the back.
Sleep. Yeah.
Mike can take all of his leftover packs.
Some muscle relaxers.
I'll bring some fivers. I'll bring some fivers along. We'll be in good shape.
We'll be good. All right.
Where do you want it to be? Where would you, if you could pick travel, not an issue, where would you want it to be?
Travel, not an issue. I'd rather go to Atlanta because I've never been in Atlanta. Yeah. I've been around that area a lot.
Spots I can take you boys too. I got some good spots we can go to.
So that would be my choice. I mean, 6.5 hour drive to Detroit is not exactly an easy drive either, because I'm an old man and it's Detroit. So yeah, all things being equal, I would rather go to Atlanta. Yeah. But yeah, probably be really hot and a whole bunch of fat, sweaty guys. Ooh, that could be bad. That could be bad.
That convention center is going to smell like, oh my.
Yeah, because people are going to be drenched with sweat walking in, and it doesn't matter if it's air conditioned or not. They're already going to smell. Let's be real. They're going to smell.
100%.
Okay, I thought you guys would be really interested in this because Fanatics Fest is coming up, right? Mm-hmm. And you guys have an opportunity, the viewers too. You can send in a video and let them know why you should be part of this, but they have the Fanatics Fest skills competition, $2 million in prizes with the winner getting $1 million. You can compete against celebrities and athletes, and you're going to have a different set of sporting event skills you have to compete in, like quarterback skills, around the horn, basketball, WWE entrances. I would totally clean up with that. Closest to the pin, again, I would totally clean up. So yeah, you can compete against celebrities and athletes, including Tom Brady in this. And if you win, you get $1 million. I'm assuming that they're like not expecting a regular Joe to win it because the highest placing non-athlete or celebrity gets $100,000. So yeah, but here's your chance. Send in the video. You could win $1 million.
EP could get either closest to the pin because he would sink an 80-foot putt, or from 3 feet away, he could be 80 feet away after his putt. So it's a real crapshoot.
It's accurate.
It's a real crapshoot there. And Atlanta does have, I mentioned the College Football Hall of Fame, and there is a like a pump pass kick kind of thing you can try on the field. The only person out of our group that made the field goal was Rob, which is wild to me. So I'm not down for that. I am way too old and brittle at this point in my life to be taking part in any of that. The entrance I could probably do. I am a showman. And then the putt, I would fare okay. Mike, you're a better putter. Again, EP, it depends on the if it's too close, he's not going to make it.
That's true.
Off the green, halfway into the fairway, 80 feet away, one putt, he's in. Zero putt, technically, he's in.
If I did the WWE entrance, I would do the fireball dance and have them play fireball, and like that would be over, lights out, done deal. I wrote
video of that dance.
The thing is, they missed the opportunity here. Like they're doing it all wrong. This should be sorting cards, putting together monster boxes, taking cards out of card savers and putting them in top loaders instead. Like that, they should have like actual card based competitions, and then we could all compete, and then people would be excited about it. People watching the show would be excited.
That actually would be funny if they did that. Maybe a lesser prize, maybe like a $10,000 prize.
Like, you gotta put together 10 monster boxes. Whoever can do it fastest, like that'd be fantastic.
But you guys, we wouldn't be able to beat Tom Brady because he owns a card shop and does that every day now. So you take an elite level athlete like him and then train him in doing that kind of stuff. We don't have a chance. Okay, well, this past week, Marvel Topps Chrome was dropped the pre-sale on the Topps website. It was $239.99 a box. They did their EQL drop, which, it's basically a lottery to try to get it. A lot of people didn't get it. And now it's pre-selling for $350 to $400 a box on eBay. David Adams had it for $400 a box. They're sold out on pre-order. So what are we think? This is a product I would love to rip some of, but what are we thinking about these prices? Like, does it deserve the bump? I mean, it is an exciting product. I'm sure people are excited to rip it, but going from $239 to $400 in a week, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Are you going to buy any at $400? What price would you buy it at?
Not buying it at $400, that's for sure. Maybe the original retail price. Maybe I'd consider a box of it. Spidey Hits put out a video, like a kind of a first look. I need to watch it. I should have watched it. I'm curious what the potential hits are. It sounded like mostly just numbered cards, which does not really appeal to me much. Like, I know that's a big part of the hobby, and Fanatics has taken their sports card model, putting it into their non-sports stuff. They do the same thing, I believe, with Star Wars EP. Their Chrome set. So it's mostly a numbered card, things they don't have to really pay to put into boxes.
Chrome. I mean, that is Chrome though. That's kind of always been Chrome.
I guess, but like even out of Platinum, you can pull sketch cards, you can pull autograph cards from Upper Deck. I don't know. I'm more curious to see if this is just the model that they have for a lot of their product. Like, I don't know. Flair Ultra Wolverine was like $225 a box, and people were losing their minds in the comments of the videos that we posted that was $225 a box. I think the value, unless you're Mike Jones, the value was good on those. The value is going to be fine to start, but I think it's going to do that. What was it? Avengers Metal. I said to you guys when I saw the prices of Avengers Metal, and this is Upper Deck product, so I'm going to throw some shade their way. When I saw the price come out, then I saw David Adams taking it down, Steel City taking it down, and then putting it up at a higher price. Oh, they must have sold out, and then they reintroduced it at the same price to the penny, and then it went up to, I think it was over $400 or right around $400, and PMGs are the big draw to that, numbered cards, right? And so it went up. Everyone's like, this is the one. They'll never drop. You had prognosticators out there saying this product will never come down in value. Now you can pick up a lot of those PMGs for pennies on the dollar that people were spending out their ass for. So I don't know. It's not for me. I like original art stuff like the Fleer Ultra, and I don't think we're going to get a lot of that with Fanatics, unfortunately. But if you're a Chrome person and you don't really care about the sketch cards and the artist autographs and things like that, then it might be for you.
Yeah, to answer
not for 400, not for 400.
To answer a couple of your questions, Mike, yeah, I think the price is going to go up, but I don't think it's justified. It's not for me. I'm not going to buy any. I think the prices are going to go up. It's not justified, but this is going to get driven up because of the breaks, because of it being Fanatics, because of being Fanatics Topps Chrome, because of the refractors and the numbered cards. It's all going to drive it up. But like I agree with Joe, where like it is going to tank, and you're going to be able to get this stuff super cheap later. For me, when we first posted this, Mike, to our group text, the 240, I'm like looking at the number of cards you get for the I think it's like 20 packs and 16 cards, something like that. And so it was even less than that. Whatever it was, it came out to like 68 cards, something like that, for an entire box. I was like, man, it just seems like so much money. And I think you compare it to the Batman, the Upper Deck Batman that we were actually excited about for $200 a box. And while I said at that point, I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't just ever buy any cards. And you kind of agreed that nobody should be buying boxes of cards at these prices. I think for me, the difference between the Batman and the Chrome is, I agree with Joe, where there's chances to get jambalayas and all these other kinds of insert cards that you're not going to get Chrome, where Chrome does have insert cards, but they're still just Chrome cards. Where with these other products, you're getting different kinds of cards with the inserts, and that has a little bit more of an appeal to me. Even though the $200 again is the price, and we were talking about before we started that some places don't even have the Batman listed anymore. I wonder what that's going to come in at with the next price. Is it going to be $400 just like the Marvel Chrome?
Could be.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with it not having inserts because it's Topps Chrome. Like that is not the set. Yeah. That is not what this is for. Whether or not they do other sets that have things like that in it, we will see. But this particular product, that's not what the product is. So like $239.99 a box, I would be a buyer at. I think that's not out of line compared. It's very similar to what Upper Deck charged for their stuff. The problem is, I don't think you'll ever see this going down, EP, because the difference between Upper Deck and Topps is Topps is owned by Fanatics. Fanatics owns Fanatics Live, and they can say to breakers, you need to buy this product and you need to break it on our platform here. So they always have a buyer because it's built in. Some people would argue, oh, it's just the market. It's not really the market. It's an artificial market that
it's the market. It's market manipulation.
Yeah, well, they have control of the market. Yeah. It's not a free market. This is not okay. This is released at $239.99 and it goes wherever, and we'll see what happens. They can make dealers buy. You have to buy this to get this. That's always been done in the hobby. I'm not saying there's anything new, but Fanatics has such a hold of like where you can break it, and making people do that. They're never going to have products that drop, which is unfortunate because it's a good product at $240. Go ahead, EP.
I was going to say, to be clear, when I said the prices would drop, I meant the singles. I know the box and pack prices are never going to go down. Like they're going to be outrageous. They're going to only go up in price. But I think the singles are going to be. You can pick up a couple cool Chrome singles, for $2. To
the point where you buy it for $240, you're like, oh, I actually don't feel bad about what I got out of this. You buy it for $400, you're going to feel real bad about what you get out of it. That's just plain and simple, right? Mm-hmm. And to your point, Mike, it's going to be a breaker's product, which is really weird to say because people like Leighton Sports Cards are now breaking Marvel cards, which is strange to me. Like they're being forced to break Marvel, to break Star Wars. I had never seen them break an Upper Deck Marvel product before. Never. I searched on Leighton's YouTube page. They had never broken an Upper Deck Marvel product. That was always those niche, those melee pops and places like that they would break those. Now to your point, Mike, Fanatics is saying you need to buy a case of this, you need to buy 10 cases of this, you need to buy 20 cases of this, and you need to break it on Fanatics Live.
Is this also a situation where you should buy sports over non-sports, because there's no Drew Jones like prospect that is going to be outrageously priced when it comes to a non-sports product like that? I mean, Spider-Man obviously has a little more, but there's nothing that's going to be like going to increase in value because of the on-field performance or whatever. And like you think about that, like that, the whole point of why Bowman is expensive is because you're getting these prospects that have a chance, or you're chasing a Paul Skeens Bowman first, where they don't have that in the non-sports. And I feel like as the prices continue to rise,
they'll have Bowman first in the future. I'm calling that now.
That's true.
They're absolutely going to have a
Yeah.
Bowman first Spider-Man, a Bowman first Iron Man, things like that for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and I've lost track of where we were here. Sorry. I did, but like with breaking, Marvel stuff's a lot more like wrestling, and like if the breaking wasn't causing the boxes to go up so much, it would be a great way for people to buy this product, because you have character collectors, so you can buy into the breaks and get up the characters. I buy Paul Heyman in breaks in wrestling and I can get his cards. This is kind of what breaking originally was. It's you're not shooting for, now people will be shooting for like the superfractor, of course, but like you said, EP, the sports stuff is more that gambling rush. It's more of a hit. You can get stuff that has more value to it. There will be some things but a superfractor of a Marvel character is not going to sell for as much as, the equivalent level of like a baseball prospect. So yeah, if it were being broken and being charged where it'd be a little more realistic, but if we're doing it at $400 a box, like where's the value? It's just not there.
And you make this point about parallels, Mike, in how many years, how many Joe Burrow out of 10 are there going to be? How many of this? They're gonna do this with Marvel cards as well. I mean, you mentioned superfractors or super refractors, depending on who you ask. How many Spider-Man superfractors are there going to be over the course of this contract that they have with Disney? I mean, he's going to be in every product, the crossover products with the Disney characters. He's going to be in the Marvel products. He was in the X-Men 97 products. He had like a half a scene in one. So he was in that. So there's going to be those characters who are just going to have a ton of superfractors, a ton of out of 50, I believe, is the gold, and so on and so on and so on. So yeah, to Evie's point, you're both correct. The box price is never going to come down. The singles are going to probably crash. Yeah,
and not just the superfractors. You think about the number of 101s out there, even that Topps is putting into products. The number of 101s of Spider-Man are going to grow exponentially over the next 2 years. Like you think about the number of 101s that'll be available across all the different products. Like they're going to put so many 101s and everything. It's going to be outrageous.
Debut patches.
And not even just the 101s, like all the numbered stuff. If you look at the Upper Deck stuff, there is low numbered Upper Deck cards of Spider-Man that really a couple bucks for one numbered to 100. Like Upper Deck numbered a lot of cards.
Yep.
That's what Fanatics and Topps is going to be doing with this stuff. So, 2-3 years from now, when we're talking about Topps Chrome Marvel, what are you selling next year? But seriously, next year in baseball, you have a whole new class. You have a whole new football rookie class. What are you going to do with Marvel? What are you selling that's different? You have Spider-Man again. You have Captain America again.
Just different poses.
Yeah, they're the same characters, and you're going to be selling them year over year over year. So I do feel like this will be a less popular product in 2 years than it is now, because I just don't know what you're buying 2 years from now that's any different than what you bought every year before.
Well, the answer is like Joe said. The answer is, well, this is all brand new art. This is all art that was created just for this product, and all of a sudden it's $1,000 a box. But we're gonna charge more.
That's right.
That's what's gonna happen, right? Like they're gonna give us the crap for 3 years. Then they're gonna give us the original art, and they're gonna just charge out.
Well, they have other products that they're doing that for. I mean, there's gonna be high end.
There's absolutely The Chrome is gonna be very basic. Just a Photoshop picture, like
basic $400
Spider-Man. Just right.
This is gonna be their base.
This is gonna be their absolutely. I mean. And I saw someone commenting on a post from Upper Deck complaining that Fleer Ultra Superman doesn't have a schedule. It's because it's all original art. Just chill out. It's not Fanatics calling up their printer saying, "Start it. Let's do it." We have no real money into this right now. We can just churn. I mean, there's original art, and hopefully they do some original art products. But like you said, Mike, those are going to be I mean, Marvel Masterpieces is a high-end product. It's like $800 a box when it first comes out, depending on who the artist is. It'll be interesting to see what the Topps version of that is and see how much higher it is than Marvel Masterpieces was.
I can imagine the artists at Topps are excited because they're where they Photoshop all the baseball players now and the football players and stuff. Like this is gonna be way easier for them to Photoshop, right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I wanted to get this one in here because I thought this was interesting. We all know that the northeastern part of the United States is the hotbed for collecting. There's no argument there.
Also, number one best.
Absolutely. There is going to be a huge cards show in the summer of 2026, the Northeast Sports Card Expo in Marlborough, Massachusetts. 1,000 tables in a 150,000 square foot facility, the Four Kick Sports Complex up there. I'm interested in this because that's like a big soccer place. They have other sports that they do there, but they have a big building that has turf in it. I don't know if the card show is going to be on turf, but I went to a card show that was on turf not too long ago, and it was the most enjoyable experience of my life. So I'm hoping that if the tables are on turf, I might have to go because walking around on turf feels so good.
Yes.
Every card show should be on a turf area instead of concrete.
After the last show, my feet hurt so bad. Like I need new sneakers like that. That's definitely a problem. But my feet hurt so bad for like the rest of the day from standing for hours and hours at that show. And
you never sit.
Well, no, I don't. But still, when I was at that show too, that it was on the turf, and it is amazing. Like it feels like you're walking on a cloud compared to walking standing on the concrete all day.
Natural turf or Astro? What are we talking about?
AstroTurf, yeah. It has that nice spring and cushion to it.
Not like the
just
old
walking,
vet, right?
No. If you haven't been on like the
three people,
I have been. Ironically, at the College Football Hall of
so good
down in Atlanta. Yeah, it is very nice.
Every card show, they should do that at the mall. Maybe they should put that in.
Put some
like the old
down.
people that likes to walk around. Imagine how much they would.
They would love it. Yeah. They would love it.
The guys around the sports cards show should recommend it. They should say, "Hey, look, you guys gonna put turf in the middle of the mall."
All the money that mall's pulling in down there.
Right.
The thing that scared me the most when you started doing the story was when you started off with Northeast. I'm like, oh no, but it went to a better place. So I appreciate that. Let's go, Massachusetts. We could hit some. There's some really cool comic book shops out there. We could have a really good time. Let's do it.
Not that far. Gotta go.
When is it?
Next summer.
Okay.
They have a year to plan it.
Yeah. We have time to plan it. That's all.
This is where EP says if we're alive by next summer, right?
Yeah. I was thinking it. I wasn't going to say
it. When we were talking about the National 3 years from now, I was even thinking it too. So. Oh, man, we joke. We're going to be here forever for you, the viewer. All right. You know how I love to do my lists. I got another one for you, but this one is our area of expertise. The 10 most iconic sports cards from the 90s. This list is from Collect. I stole it right from their website. So all credit to them for this list. I don't want to take credit for this list because I don't agree with some of it. But these are now, remember, these are the 10 most iconic sports cards of the 90s.
Can I ask one question before we start?
Go ahead, EP. You always have questions.
No, I just want to make sure when I think about 90s cards, I think of the 89 Griffey, but this is a card that was not in the 90s, but was a popular card
90s,
in the 90s. Only 90s. Released in the 90s.
That's how these lists work, EP.
Just want to make sure.
80s means 80s, 90s means 90s.
Just wanted to make sure. Just, all right. Okay.
God.
All right.
Okay, sure. Well, I'm glad we got who starts. I don't remember.
I'm going to start after that stupid question.
Okay. Let me get my pen so I can keep track. Can you hear that?
I hear a very nice clicking of that pen. I'm going to start with one of EP's boys. We'll go with the captain, his SP rookie.
Mike Piazza?
Yeah. According to AI. No, Derek Jeter, SP rookie.
1993 SP Derek Jeter is number 3 on the list. That is a point for Joe.
1990 Leaf Frank Thomas.
That is incorrect.
Really?
No name, wow. Frank Thomas.
Very
Ooh.
good. I can't believe EP didn't go right to the no name on front. The Frank Thomas no name on front is number 4. So
Wow.
2 points for Joe. Out to a quick lead.
The 1997 red PMG Jordan.
That is number 1
Very nice
on the
EP.
list. Very good job there, EP. All right, Joseph.
I'm trying to think of which Peyton Manning I would choose. 1998 playoff contenders. Peyton Manning. Rookie autograph
ticket?
card. Do I need that rookie ticket? Yeah. I need to say all of it.
That is number 8 on the list. You're 3 for 3, Joe. It's almost like you were in the 90s. I don't know.
I mean, 98 Randy Moss contenders
No.
auto. No. Wow.
No.
Hmm.
But we have 4 out of the 10. That's a good start, boys.
Is
Getting
it
tough here.
possible? I'm doing an EP version now. Is it possible? What was Jaromir Jagr's rookie year? Is there any?
90, 91 Upper Deck.
Yeah, I will go
Or
with
I'll
Jaromir
peach you
As
Jagr.
it looks down at the sheet.
No, it is
Yeah.
not.
It's not.
Oh,
Okay.
Then the 90 Reggie Jackson auto. Find the Reggie auto.
No, come on, EP. That's on your list of iconic cards, but not
Come on,
normal
it's
people.
first ever pack pulled auto. Come on.
Iconic cards.
How's the 90
Pro-
Thomason on there then?
Because
Yeah,
he's got the
because-
no name. There's a more
All right.
iconic
Gotcha.
Frank Thomas
Okay.
card.
Yeah. That's
Here's the
kinda,
problem with this
you're
list.
not gonna find like multiple cards of the same player on this list. So
Okay. The problem we have is all of the inserts
Mm.
that, so it
90s
kinda
are
leads to
tough.
that. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
it's tougher than the 80s.
there are a couple on here you aren't gonna get. I'm just
Okay.
gonna say that right now.
Can we get the sports? What kind of breakdown we got?
Not yet. You only got
Okay.
4 out of the 10. Come on,
I
keep
got 3.
guessing.
EP, you go. Guess one. Guess one.
96 Kobe Bryant Topps Chrome rookie.
The Topps Chrome and all variations of that is number
Okay.
2
Okay.
on the
Oh,
list. So it's a 3-2 game right now. He's closing in, Joe.
yes.
EP's just warming up.
I'm gonna go with the 98 Randy Moss Spa.
No.
No.
He
Is there any Randy
not
Moss
on
on
the
the list at all?
You can't
You
ask
are
that.
allowed to ask that question.
Okay. Okay. All right. That says there is one.
There may be, there may not be. There you go.
All right.
Oh, I got a good one.
Hmm.
EP, it's your guess. Down 3-2.
Hmm.
Getting late in the game here. How long will Mike let this go? How much dead air is he going to have to fill up until you make a guess?
I'm trying to think of a year and a card of Kurt Warner rookie card.
No Kurt
was-
Warner on the list.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is not iconic.
Take that,
Sorry.
Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Take
How
that.
about the Undertaker rookie?
No,
No, is there a wrestling card in there?
there is no wrestlers,
Okay.
no wrestling cards.
Mm.
Hmm.
Man, this is tough. There's people in the comments flaming the shit out of us right now.
There
Like,
are
there's-
2 of these you absolutely should get, and the other 3, one you could get, but I'm gonna guess you aren't, and the other 2 I'm gonna guess you aren't gonna get. So there you go.
How about Brett Favre's rookie card, Stadium
No.
Club?
That is not on there. By the way,
Kevin
I
Garnett
saw
is
the
here.
preview for the Netflix thing on Brett Favre. I'm not even sure I can watch that. I just it seems gross.
Does it make him look sympathetic at all?
Just
Is that-
no. It has like the girl that was the cheerleader that he was
Oh, I might
sending
watch it
text to, and the MySpace messages he sent to her. Yeah, just
yeah.
disgusting. Anyway, I'm sorry. What was your guess there? EP?
Kevin Garnett SP rookie.
No, Kevin Garnett's not iconic. EP, come on, man.
Oh, how about Allen Iverson EX?
Wow, the 97 Skybox EX 2001.
Thank you, Chris Sewell.
Essential credentials now, Allen
Wow.
Iverson out of 3. I did not think you would get that. It's only 3 of them. I think one just sold recently, which was
Yeah,
the first
it wa-
one that was
It
ever
was
sold.
his high rollers. I watch his high rollers every time he has
And
it on. Yeah.
One of 3 cards in that set, the essential credentials were numbered to their jersey number. So yeah. Wow. Wow, Joe Day. I am impressed.
Okay, I'm tapping out. I can't top that. Shit.
I mean, I got all crap. Like it was the 1990 upper
number
deck.
10. That was number 10.
Okay. Was 90 upper deck was when Nolan Ryan was throwing the football?
No.
All these cards are like high end crap that I don't like. So
what was the
is that your story?
Bo Jackson one? Was that 80s or 90s? The baseball bat and the
I don't know. You tell me.
89 score traded, wasn't it?
90 score. Bo Jackson.
90 score Bo Jackson, Mr. Oh, these cards are so expensive. They're not. Yeah, that's like a $2 card. The 90 score Bo Jackson. Come on, EP. How do you not get that?
All right, I'm done now. I'm officially done. By the way, that's 2 that you kind of gave me. You said Garnett, made me think of Allen Iverson, and then you said Nolan Ryan throwing a football, which made me think of Bo Jackson doing the baseball thing.
And EP,
give me another one, EP.
The 89 score traded was or supplemental was Bo Jackson holding the bat with the shoulder pads on, but not the one with the bat.
I was thinking the one that he won't sign, which we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Okay, I will give you a hint. We have 1 baseball, 1 basketball, and 1 non-major sport. Interesting twist.
Yeah.
People are yelling at you.
I think the non-major sport is tennis.
Okay.
Andre Agassi rookie card?
No.
I don't know what would be here now. Okay.
Not the Pete Sampras rookie card that I just used on 3 cards, is it? It's not.
Not that either.
No.
EP?
When was
come on, basketball, EP. Basketball.
I gave so many
other
guesses.
Yeah, but you didn't give good guesses.
I didn't give this one. Oh, I got the number 1 and number 2. Get the fuck out of here.
You got the easy one. Whoa! Where is that guy in the comments? I hope he's watching.
The newspaper guy here dropping F-bombs.
Another Jordan, but I can't think what it might be.
He said there weren't.
There are not. Players. You don't even pay attention to what I'm saying.
Wait, what's happening? Where am I? What's going on right now?
By the way, did people notice the anger that came out of him?
Anger.
We like tried to tell you.
Took a survey at Applebee's.
Okay, we're running low on time. Yeah, 1992-93 basketball card.
Oh, Shaq gold rookie, Topps gold rookie.
No, wrong Shaq card. Joe?
The Beam Team.
Exactly, Joe Day. Wow, the ass kicking continues. 6-2. All right.
I'll give EP half credit for saying Shaq, though, because I don't know if I would have gotten.
We have a 1994 baseball card that shouldn't be on this list.
Oh, wait. No,
that's not your turn.
Okay.
94. Who was a rookie in 94?
Can I give a question? Would Alico 3 make fun of this card?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know the reference, so I can't.
Mariano Rivera wearing his Kmart.
No, that's 92.
Oh, okay.
94. I'm not sure what it is. Ricky Leday rookie from 1994.
1994 SP Alex Rodriguez rookie.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Because they were
he never played for the Yankees though, right?
He did, but he was a Surrey guy, so he doesn't really count.
Okay.
And the one that is not a major sport. Do you want the sport?
Yes.
Golf.
Oh.
Come on, guys. Come on. Everybody in the comments are flaming you. Flame them right now in the comments. If anybody's still watching this Drek.
Well, Tiger Woods was born in 2001. So.
I didn't know they had golf before.
Wow.
Jack Nicklaus.
I mean, it's a Jack Nicklaus something, but I don't know what set it would be.
Paint Stewart Pro Line autograph.
Please flame them in the comments.
Don't flame me.
They're Googling it. They're Googling.
You gotta timestamp your response in the comments so I know you're flaming them. Or it's illustrated for kids.
Oh,
Oh,
Tiger Sports
Tigers.
Illustrated for kids.
There
That's
you go. Wow.
Right. Oh,
Payne Stewart, Jack Nicholas. Come on, guys.
I
But
can only
Joe,
do so much, Mike. I am exhausted. My back is
this is
killing
like
me.
playing Movie Madness back at the shop. Joe,
Yes.
6-2. I don't know that you've ever beaten EP this badly.
I was more of a 90s kid.
And can
collected
I
all
mention the
90s.
only two he got were the two most obvious out of the whole list?
It's fair. And I
Boy.
let him have those.
Yeah, you did.
You
I
did.
let him have those.
You're
Oh,
out
like
here
I could've
picking
guessed
out the
Jordan
Allen
or
Iverson.
Kobe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on. Wow. I think that was a pretty good list. The only one that
A-Rod,
I
yeah,
think the
definitely.
Alex-
Yeah,
he's
they're
just
other
not collectible enough in the hobby right now. Although I understand that card
No
has
Randy
value.
Moss.
no Moss is
Randy
crazy.
Moss. They probably, because they already had Manning, maybe because that would also be Moss's
Right.
like most iconic
Yeah.
cards. So I'm guessing that's probably why they didn't. I was trying to think if there was anything obvious to me that was left out, but nothing popped to mind.
No Achilles Smith was kind of weird, right?
You can,
Tim Couch? Like,
Yeah.
where are the Tim Couch cards?
yeah. I mean, you could probably pick out PMGs for a bunch of these players and consider those too, which is tough. But yeah, you could pick out a bunch of Jordans too. But if they're limiting it to one per,
I think I may have gone with the Emmitt Smith 90 score supplemental over the A-Rod card.
Yeah.
Just like in terms of just being iconic, like that card is much more iconic in the hobby than the A-Rod, I think.
You remember, Mike, you owned a shop back then. Like we got on a tangent about Favre after it, but that 92 score, do you remember how hot that card was?
The Stadium
in the 90s?
Club? Or the
Stadium Club. Yeah.
the
Stadium Club
high
where,
number stadium.
Yeah, where they had to black out his helmet because they didn't have the license to South Mississippi or whatever it was, Southern Mississippi. Yeah, that was a huge card back then. So,
all right, well, did a pretty good job on that one, guys. That was a lot of fun. I like that one. Always love my list. Always love seeing Joe Day destroy EP. One of these times, EP. But how about the anger? What do you guys think about the anger out of this guy down there?
There are certain people that he does not know who they are that will defend him in the comments below.
That's
because
true.
Of his anger.
Like that was on camera. You don't know what he's going to do to us as soon as I stop the recording.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. Maybe I'll
He's
just
swinging by your house
talking.
tomorrow. He's
I
swinging
know.
by your
Oh my
house
God.
tomorrow.
He knows where I live. If I'm not here next week, call the cops. He did it.
Thank God there's a bubble around where I'm at. He'd have to drive 4 hours to get to me. Jesus.
Oh, all right, guys. That was a lot of fun this week. I'll see you next week. Take care, guys.
See you, boys.
Adios.